is Kaylin and welcome back to my channel, and today we are talking about WandaVision episode 5 and then 6. So, I'm really excited. So these are my notes this time. Today these 2 full pages, plus this. So once again, I'm going to try to talk fast so we're not here forever. What I like that they're doing now is they're kind of going back and forth between Wanda and like her sitcom and her whole thing, and then S.W.O.R.D. and what they're doing. So I really enjoyed that aspect. And in episode 5, she's trying to get her babies to go sleep, and she can't control them. She cannot control her kids. Like everybody else in this world, even Vision kind of, she cannot control her kids, which is very interesting. Agnes, she comes in and then she's like, she comes in and Wanda's like, okay, you can like hold the babies, but then Vision's like, yeah, don't hold the babies. And then Agnes is like asking Wanda, it's like, did you want me to hold the babies? It's like, what do you want me to do? And like Agnes is asking permission from Wanda, and that's very weird. And then Vision gets confused by that because why wouldn't he? I would be confused by that. It's like, why was she like asking you permission? So yeah, boys are now 5. They just aged up. They're 5 now. In S.W.O.R.D., we're going to S.W.O.R.D. now. In S.W.O.R.D., the Hayward guy, is that his name? I don't really know. I don't really like him. But, he's like asking, does Wanda have any names? So we all know her name is like Scarlet Witch. Is like her superhero name. But they've never used that. It's always like Wanda Maximoff. We've never used Scarlet Witch. So she's technically not Scarlet Witch yet. If anything moved or looks different, I had stopped for a little bit recording, but now I'm back. So, where was I? Wanda stole Vision's body from S.W.O.R.D. She took his whole body, the corpse, as they said in the thing, and she's like giving it life. She's giving it life so that he can be alive for her. So yes, when the boys find the dog, Wanda makes a collar for it, and she like zaps it with like her powers. Zaps, okay. And she did it right in front of Agnes, and then Vision was like, "What the heck? You're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be secretive." And she's like, she doesn't want it to be a secret anymore. She doesn't care. She just wants to live her life. And Vision's like, no. So I feel like that's where Vision starts to like think Wanda's doing something, and he's like very concerned, but he can't tell her because she's controlling everything. Billy and Tommy wanted the dog, and their parents were like, no, you have to be 10 to have the dog. They aged themselves up to 10. So yeah, they can do whatever the heck they want to do, it seems like. So Vision goes to work and he talks to Norm. They're talking about computers and how they're like brand new, and then Vision does his thing, and then Norm just like starts freaking out. Brought back into the real world. Vision let him out of Wanda's control. And Norm is like freaking out. He kept saying her and she. So technically he never said Wanda, so technically it could be somebody else. Maybe Agnes, because everyone thinks she's like Agatha Harkness, which is like a witch. Which in episode 6 they have her dressed as a witch for the Halloween special type thing. So yeah. It could be. We don't know. But most likely it's going to be Wanda right now. S.W.O.R.D. has an old 80s drone, and because Wanda changes everything in her world to fit with the times, since they had an 80s drone, the drone stayed the same. It wasn't very good, but they got in. And Wanda didn't like that very much. So when they have the drone in there, Wanda literally comes out. She's like, oh, I'm not doing this. She comes out and she starts like saying how if they don't bother her, she won't bother them. But really they can't do that because the whole town is hostage. So they can't really just leave her alone. If it was just her and Vision with their 2 kids, I feel like there may be a chance they wouldn't do anything. So yeah. And Wanda is in her world. She has no accent whatsoever. It's how she imagines herself living, I guess. Or just to fit in more, because no one from New Jersey would have that accent, really. So she has no accent in the world. The minute she steps out, her accent's back. Wanda just wants to be left alone in her world. She just wants to live her life with Vision and her kids, and all these random people that she thinks is her friends now. Is trying to be like, hey, what do you want? We will give you whatever you want if you'll just stop this. But literally, they can't give her what she wants. She only wants Vision and her to live in the perfect world, and that can't happen without her doing this. So that is pretty much out. They can't give her anything. She doesn't want anything they can give her. So that's very sad. For everybody. For Wanda, because she can't be happy unless it's this way, and for Sword, because like they gotta get these people out because they're kind of being held hostage. So yes, episode, Wanda and Vision have like this big fight, and Vision's like, I want out. I don't remember who I am. Like, I want out. I don't know who I am. You are controlling lots of people. You are controlling him, me, Vision. Yeah. So he just wants to know about his life before this world. Before New Jersey. Before Westview. And confronts like Wanda saying like you're controlling Norm, he has a whole family. And yes. So he brings that up. But she doesn't like that. But Vision's like, why are there no kids anywhere? Which is leading up to episode 6, which there's the crap ton of kids. So Vision just wants to know why there's no other kids other than theirs. And Wanda's like, Wanda's just frustrated because she just wants it to be perfect, and now he's like asking her all these questions, and she doesn't really know the answers to them. Or she doesn't want to tell him. She says she doesn't know how it all started, which is probably true. When people are sad, they do things they not normally do. It's just they want to find a way to be happy again, and sometimes they'll do things that they shouldn't have done. So yeah. Hear the doorbell ring, and then Vision's like, Wanda, did you do that just so we can stop talking about this? And then Wanda's like, no. And then Vision's like, well, I don't believe you. So now Vision just can't believe Wanda, which is very sad. Okay. And when she enters the door, who else could it be than Quicksilver? But you would all think it's her brother, right? No, it is X-Men Evan Peters, right? Evan Peters. It is funny because his first name is Peter in X-Men, and his last name is Peters, and now they're calling him Pietro because that's her brother. But in X-Men, he's Peter. He's not from Sokovia. So we think. So that's what we know. So it's the X-Men Quicksilver, and it's kind of crazy. I don't know what they're doing with that. So in episode 6, okay, we'll just talk about that when we get there. So moving on to episode 6 now. This is the Halloween episode. In the trailer, people were like most excited for this because the comic book outfits, and it's super cool. So this is a very exciting episode. So the superhero outfits are really cool. They're just funny, and they just bring them all to life. So there's that. So for Halloween, Vision's like, oh, I'm gonna help out the neighborhood watch. And then Wanda's like, you're not supposed to do that. And he's like, wait, what? And she's like, oh shit, I shouldn't say that. Well, you're supposed to come trick-or-treating. And then Vision's like, no, gotta help out with them. So her brother goes with them. Of course, he would have to. But Vision says he's helping out the neighborhood watch, which is not that true. So Sword is just talking, the Hayward guy, he's annoying. I hate, it's funny. In the first episode they brought him into, they're like, ooh, he's a nice guy. He's friends with Monica's mom. He likes Monica. He's giving Monica a mission. You know he's not nice. He basically wants to kill Wanda. He thinks if we kill her, it'll be all problem solved. But if she has 2 kids that are 10 years old and they kill her, Vision's dead. Like, if he goes outside that little bubble, he's gone. So, if they kill her, what do you think the 2 boys would do? Think it'd be fine? Because they can age themselves up, they have superpowers, and everyone that reads the comics kind of knows what happens with them. The guy was very annoying because he told Monica, maybe it's a good thing when you hear when your mom died. That was so rude. It's like, you do not say that to somebody. That is, I wanted to punch him in the face. So, there's that. I just didn't like that part, so I wanted to point that out. Wanda was like, was talking to Pietro, and she was saying, why do you look different? Why do you not look like how I remember you? And then he doesn't really have an answer. He's just like, I can't remember. Just remember he gets shot, and then he was gone, and then he heard Wanda calling to him. So, that's all he knows. Wanda runs into Herb? Is his name Herb? Okay, we're gonna say his name's Herb. The guy dressed as Frankenstein. The one neighbor. I think his name's Herb. But he was saying how he was doing the neighborhood watch thing, and then one's like, maybe Vision can help you, and they find out Vision's not with the neighborhood watch. What is Vision doing? We don't know. Just yet. Commercial in this episode, it was freaky. It was like a yogurt commercial, but then the kid died. It was so weird. It literally showed the kid die, which is so creepy. But I did like the art style, like the clay type thing, because those commercials, those are like nostalgic. So yes, but it was creepy. Okay, so in the background when right before they find out Tommy's the one with super speed, I think. So right before they find out that, in the background there's like a movie theater and they're showing The Incredibles and The Parent Trap. So I'm just like, oh, those movies didn't come out at the same time. Like, Incredibles didn't come out until 2004, but there was a reason for that. Parent Trap, twins, Incredibles, superheroes. What do you get? The twins. So yes, and Wanda kind of. Yeah, Wanda too. Like all of them, because they're twins and they're superheroes. The Incredibles and Parent Trap, I didn't figure that out. I'll just point that out. I watched somebody else react to the episode and they pointed out. I'm like, that makes so much sense. So I thought I had to say that. Then Wanda asked Pietro, like, where's your accent? Why do you have no accent? And then Quicksilver Pietro was like, why don't you have your accent? And yeah, no one really knows that answer. He finds out he has super speed. We're going over to Vision, and he's like snooping around the edge of the world and stuff, and he sees that they look like animatronics. Like they move slightly, but they don't really do anything else. And some of them are standing still, which is creepy as well. But it's just because it's like a video game. What they want the player to see is very active. They'll move around, it does lots of things. But if they go wandering off to the edge of like the map that they have, it's gonna look a little bit weird. So while Vision is snooping around, he sees a car, and then he sees that Agnes is in it, talking, and Vision's like, what are you doing? And Agnes is like, oh, I got lost. And he's like, you got lost in the town you grew up in? So pretty much Agnes does not live in this town, because you wouldn't get lost in a town you grew up in. Like, Vision does this thing to Agnes, and Wanda loses control of her for a little bit, and she was like talking about how she needs help to escape. So, like, Vision, he's an Avenger, he can help us escape, and then Vision can't remember what the heck Avengers are, because he had no life before Westview, apparently. And Agnes tells Vision that he's dead, and then he's like, wait, what? And he's like, you're dead. And he's like, oh no, that's not good. Agnes says Wanda won't let anybody leave. She won't even let anybody think about anything else. Anything. It's just whatever she puts in their mind, that's what they think about. Agnes there. It makes me think that she is playing with Vision. She knew Vision would go out and do that. Like, so she would put herself in a place where Vision would find her, ask her all these questions, and she would set him up to make him think that everyone's trapped. Because Agnes could be like a villain type thing. So, we're just going to continue on and see what happens. And with Quicksilver and then Wanda, they're all talking about like, he would bring up their childhood and it wouldn't be the same thing as she remembered, but it was just kind of played off like, that's his kids. It's weird. Pietro, Quicksilver, whatever you want to call him. He was trying to get Wanda to talk to him. He was like interested in everything. He was like asking her, how did you do all this? And then he was saying that she asked him if he thought it was wrong what she was doing. He's like, no, I'm impressed. Quicksilver wanted to know how Wanda was doing all this. He wanted to know just how, and she was like, I don't know. She was just sad and lonely and felt nothing, and she didn't want to feel that anymore. So she just kind of went after Vision and started this whole thing up. This is when Vision tries to get help and he goes outside the little bubble and it's not good for him. So were people who were all like watching around, watching Vision get ripped apart, and he just kept trying to say like, help the people need help, you need to help the people, while he's dying. For like the third time. Yeah, like the third time. There has his powers come in and he can like feel Vision like dying and that he needs help, so then he tells Wanda. And Wanda's like, you need to tell me where he is. And so yeah, Billy tries it. But then Quicksilver says, not like your dead husband can die twice. Which he did die twice. So yes. But how did he know that? Because Quicksilver died way before Vision did. Wanda expands her whole world because she has to save Vision. And she's kind of wanting to get rid of the sword people. So she turned them all into a circus and like a clown and creepy things. It was creepy. I don't like clowns. See, Darcy tried to help Vision and they handcuffed her to a truck, and then they didn't unhandcuff her when Wanda was expanding the world, so now Darcy got sucked in to Wanda's world. So now Darcy's in the Hex Anomaly Wanda's world, whatever you want to call it. How do you spell anomaly? I'm not sure. And we find out that Wanda's basically doing everything. Like her little glowing eyes, which was very cool. I really like that like shot. It was really cool. She expanded her whole world and she just wanted what she wanted. So she did it. And that is all. That is all I have for you guys today. That was a long video, so we're going to make this outro short. But yes, this is different. I rearranged this, but I already pre-filmed things before I rearranged it. So we're going to have this video with this background, and then a couple more videos are going to be like the one before this, and then the one after. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you in another video. Bye!